I don't know, some buttfuck town in Michigan, and like across the street, across the lake, like from Chicago.
I've been there actually to some buttfuck town. It's actually nicer than people make it seem. No, it's some buttfuck town. It's Asian, and it's in Michigan, but it's an Asian town.
Oh, okay.
Some buttfuck town.
Oh. Okay. The fact that stupid retarded ass joke took me so long to get is why I hate you. You don't serve, so shut the fuck up. You don't serve, so shut the fuck up.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Andre Rotz's Brain. I'm your host, Andre Hashem. Got a fantastic episode. Have my friend Trashy Tina on. She's a hilarious comic. She's also the head chef at Kale My Name, a delicious vegan restaurant that I washed dishes at once. Didn't go back just because they didn't need me. Not because I got fired or because I wasn't wanted back. No, we love each other. We live together. We also have similar backgrounds. Her dad is Assyrian. My dad's Palestinian. And I had a little incident at an open mic this week, and I thought telling her and having her relate along with that story would be a great way to frame it for everyone. So stay tuned and eat her food. And if you ask her, probably eat her pussy too.
It's funny, that same exact story that you just told happened to my parents before I was born. So when they got married, because if anyone's listening to this, my mother is white and blonde, and my father is dark and black hair, kind of looks like Andre, honestly. It's really creepy. And
I gotta tell you what to do more.
No, don't do that. That's really creepy. So, yeah, so when they got married, that was probably in the 80s, I want to say, because they got married when they were 27, probably the 70s, maybe. Okay.
I like how it's like there's a window in which they were...
They're old now, okay?
Right.
They're 60 now, so just do the math. I don't know. They were 27 when
How
they got
old are
married.
you again?
I'm 27, actually.
Okay, so I'm going to guess it was 28 to 30 years ago that they got together?
Something like that. And point. When they went for their honeymoon, they went to Michigan because they're poor, and they went to I don't know, some buttfuck town in Michigan, and across the street, across the lake, like from Chicago.
I've been there actually to some buttfuck town. It's actually nicer than people make it seem. No, it's some buttfuck town. It's Asian, and it's in Michigan, but it's an Asian town.
Oh, okay.
Some buttfuck town.
Oh. Okay. The fact that stupid retarded ass joke took me so long to get is why I hate you.
Yeah, it should have been.
That was the worst joke you've ever told me, and I didn't get it. And
oh my god.
Okay, so when they went to the fucking town or whatever, they went out to eat, like, at a bar or something, or whatever, and then when they were there, like, my dad didn't notice, which is good, because he's Assyrian, which is Middle Eastern, and, so he likes to fight.
Right,
naturally.
Yeah, temper.
Yeah, and, my mom noticed that every fucking person in the bar was staring at him, because guess what? He shouldn't be with her,
Yeah.
And because everyone there's white, he's not. And they were all looking at him. They were all looking at her. Their dirty looks. And she was like, and especially, you see, now he's a lot calmer because he's older. But back then,
he's just tired.
Yeah.
He wants to get me. He's like,
So back then he liked to fight a lot, and she was just like, no, this is my honeymoon. We're not going to fucking get into a fight. So she, just basically was like, oh, let's go. I want to go. I don't want to be here. And he was just kind of like, why? And she was just like, I just want to go. And then she's like, the rest of the honeymoon, they literally just spent, in the hotel. She's like, we're not leaving the room or the pool. That's it.
He took that aggression and brought it into the hotel room.
damn it.
That's why she wanted to go. She probably did it on purpose. She like,
made it up.
How do I get him hot and bothered? Ooh, I know. We're going to take him to a racist establishment, and then right before he snaps, I'm going to fuck him for 3 days.
Oh, God. The fucking disgusting part is I could see that. Like, okay, I'm Trashy Tina for a reason. My mom's also a host. Like, I got it from someone.
Yeah,
you know?
I didn't think it was your Middle Eastern dad.
No, yeah.
I mean, I can see him being a womanizer. I don't. I can see him being a womanizer, but definitely not instilling that in you.
No, absolutely not. My mom, the hippie, she's the one.
Oh, yeah.
The one that
Free love.
used to sing Simon and Garfunkel to me as a baby. Is the one.
I didn't know you were going to say to me. I thought you were going to say she used to sing Simon and Garfunkel to some sort of male region.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. She didn't tell me that, though. I'm surprised.
That would be funny. Just the folk music.
Maybe I'll do that the next time I have sex. I'm just gonna like sing folk music to a guy's dick and just see what happens.
That's a test.
It'll be like Snake Charmer.
So you'll like this story. So when I was applying to law school, I was living here in Chicago, and there was like a symposium thing downtown for everyone in the Midwest to meet all the Midwestern, or really all the national recruiters and stuff like that. And I met a girl from Indiana, from Indianapolis, and we hit it off. But I ended up going to law school in Denver, and she ended up going to IU. But we kind of stayed in touch because she's hot, so you're going to play the long game if you're me. And I was on the fence. I was thinking about visiting Chicago. I'd still had friends here. And we decided, like, how about I visit Chicago for about a week, hang out with my friends, and then one of the days we drive down and meet at a midpoint of Indiana. In northern Indiana, we, like, picked a random spot, Crown Point, Indiana.
Oh, my cousins used to live there. Sorry.
Yeah, no. It's good that you know the name because
it's about an hour out of Chicago, you know.
It's about an hour out of Chicago. It wasn't too far of a drive for her. And yeah, she was, by the way, a blonde, and I am obviously not. So when we go to meet at a diner in Crown Point. And this is also
your first mistake.
Well, so this is also the problem. I did not Google this. This is also, I don't know if Google existed, but I don't know if I relied on it as much. But I didn't know that Crown Point is notorious for racial violence. So we're sitting in this diner, and I'm like kind of having a ball, and realize though, you know that feeling that you get when like someone's like staring at you or checking you out or something, you get like a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I started getting that and was like, but where it was relatively empty, there was only, and then I just started kind of looking up, and there were two couples, and they were both just staring straight through us.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is not good. I'm uncomfortable here. And I told her, and she was like, really? And she her back was turned to them. And then she looked around, she was like, we should go.
Oh, man.
And that was it. So, like, we made out in the parking lot, and that was about as risky as I think that we were willing to take it. We both sped off in the dust in opposite directions, and then a couple years later, I sent her a message coked out of my mind. Recently apologized because it was her birthday, and I went in to say happy birthday, and I saw that the last message was this insanity I had sent at 4 o'clock in the morning on cocaine. So I was like, oh wait, saw my last message, explained on cocaine. I am now sober. I hope everything's fine. And we actually chatted for a while again until she was like, oh, I miss Chicago and going to the dunes. And I'm like, you're too basic. And I took myself, oh my God.
That was the first time I quit. I remember it was like a week before I went to Indiana with Jessica. And when we were there, I'm like, cigarettes are like $5. And you can smoke in bars there. I'm like, I'm smoking this weekend.
Yeah.
It's like...
You have to just for the nostalgia. It's almost, you're not a proper hipster if you don't smoke in a bar in Indiana.
Yeah, come on.
Also, you might get lynched if you don't. I think not smoking in a bar is the equivalent of wearing a mask and saying you're bisexual.
Just pick one. Even if you're gay, my cousin's gay.
Yeah.
Can't be bi, can't be both. Come on, that's just not fair.
Look, I can't understand indecision, all right? I need to pick a lane and fucking run with it, so just give me an answer.
I've been working at the factory for 50 years, okay?
Yeah.
Same job I've had since I was 5 years old.
Been making the same motion with both of my wrists.
Same arthritis medicine I've been taking.
Yeah. The jack wrist is clockwise. The work wrist is counterclockwise. Get them in unison. It's nice. Unless you get caught, you got to be careful. That's why I'm on the night shift now, because there's less people, and I can work and masturbate in public in peace.
And I think the supervisor might be a trainee, so I definitely have to take the third shift. Because he keeps going in the bathroom with the girls, and I don't like that.
Yeah, and I think he's changing in there, because I keep hearing this banging, this constant banging when they're in there. I don't know, these women seem to really take to him. Fucking... I don't know how these effeminate men keep getting these ladies. What do they see in these fuckers? Got bigger lips than you do.
This is the first time I'm living literally by myself.
Yeah.
So, and I used to do that all the time when I lived with roommates. It's like I always left my keys at home.
Yeah, that's what roommates are. They're just a spare set of keys.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes I would almost do it on purpose. Like, I would, like, leave the house, and I'm like, do I have my keys? And I'm like, I don't know, who cares? Someone will be home. You know, and, like...
We're the same person.
God damn it.
I used to do that in high school. When I was in Chile, I lived on the second floor, and I had such a bad habit of forgetting my keys. I just started an arrangement with the desk guy downstairs. I would leave my window open, and when I would walk in, he would go to the back and get a ladder without saying anything.
Oh, that's great. That's so great.
This is why we were friends.
Yeah. There was one time, I remember, when we were living together, it was me, you, and Anna living in the basement apartment. I came home drunk one night, and I didn't have my keys, and it was fucking cold outside. And I was like, I'm going to have to climb in through the window. And then, because first I was calling both of you. Or no, I don't think I was calling Anna, because I didn't want to wake her up, because she always worked in the morning. And I'm like, Andre's a piece of shit, he'll answer. And so I was like, calling you, you weren't answering. I think it was going straight to voice. And I was like, fuck. So then I was like knocking on the window. I was like fucking freezing. And I was like, and that's when I just tried to open the window. I was like, maybe it's unlocked. And it was. And I was like, this is fucking dangerous, but okay. And I'm just gonna climb in. I climbed in. I had a lava lamp like on the windowsill.
Oh,
kicked it, knocked it over. I don't remember if I don't think it broke, but it made a huge noise. And then I came inside through the window and like went into the house, and neither of you woke up. And I was like, this is I'm glad I didn't wake them up because I didn't disturb them, but also this is extremely concerning. Like, I could have just robbed us right now.
Yeah.
And neither of us, no one woke up. Like, and I'm just like, we need a dog. Like, what? Like, this is terrible.
Yeah, I don't sleep for as long anymore. It's only about 5 hours, but I literally slept through an earthquake in Chile.
Are you serious?
It was like a 6.8 or something like that on the Richter scale, and they couldn't wake me up. And then they like gave up, and then they all found their safe spaces under the door sills and shit, and just left. And I'm just in a bed in the middle of this living room because I'm crashing with my family, and like
God.
Some fan is about to fall and smash my head, and they're like, I guess he's fucked.
God, that's me too, though. Like, because when I do sleep, I sleep like a fucking rock. Like, I can sleep through a war. Like,
yeah.
It's just bad.
Well, you kind of Your dad did, so maybe it's genetic.
Maybe.
Maybe that's what it is. It's like, they say we pass things like skills and things like on through our genes. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe being able to sleep through sudden loud noises is something that Middle Easterners pass on to their kids.
Right.
I always felt terrible for this chick I went to college with. Her dad died, and he was like a triathlete. He died of lung cancer.
Oh.
And he was a serious triathlete.
So he's healthy, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, that guy was probably just biking straight to a bar and just telling them that he was training. Just coming in, and he puts the spandex shit back on with the aerodynamic helmet and all that shit, and comes back in all stumbly.
Dad, why can't you walk? Oh, I've been biking all day. I'm tired. I gotta go to bed.
It's the cleat shoes. They make me unbalanced.
Dad, you stink. Yeah, I've been working out all day,
Yeah, I've been just biking behind a bus. There's a bus. Yeah, it smells like cigarettes, though. And where the glitter? There's a school bus.
Just a flashback to him, just his face and stripper's titties.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're dressed like Catholic schoolgirls, of course.
Yeah.
He's not gonna lie too far off.
Mm-hmm.
How fucked up would that be, though? That you if somehow you manage to go your entire life not being a pedophile, and then you have a kid, and you're like, damn, my kid is so hot.
Is it pedophilia then, or just narcissism at that point?
Yeah, no shit.
It's like, no other kid is hot except for mine. Because it kind of looks like me.
That is true, because it's like you could... Is
that Kevin Kellum?
Yeah.
Aw. What's up, Kevin?
Oh, no, he's going to be disappointed.
We should be like, hey, come to riddles with us.
Actually, yeah. Kevin!
Yeah, too late.
See, that's proof that I'm not yelling when people tell me that I'm yelling. Proof, because when I do yell, people don't hear me.
Gracias, damas y caballeros. Thank you for listening to Andre Rotz's Brain. Please tell your friends. It's on Spotify. Tell your loved ones. It's on iTunes. Give us a like and a follow. We will love you forever. And now, back to the show.
I went to this mic. It's a biker bar.
Oh, okay.
And
Enough said.
Yeah.
Like, Andre, come on. Like, what did you expect?
Well, that's the thing is,
you went into their turf.
I guess you should know your place, but I'm sort of also tired of that. I think that's what my reaction was overall, is that, like, I see what's going on here, and I just refuse to play a part in it anymore. So a friend of mine ordered some chicken tenders for driving out there, and I was just like saying hi to all the comics and doing my notes thing, and then saw that there were tenders on the table, went over there, took a big bite. They were completely like the type of raw that you get from the supermarket.
Oh.
That raw. It was essentially like the batter was still wet. It wasn't
Ew.
crispy. It was as if they forgot to put them in the oven. It was
Ew.
nuts. It was so...
It was salmonella in a dish.
Yes. And I spit it. I thankfully caught it immediately because the texture was just so off, and spit it out. And I was kind of pissed, but like I'm also... I've worked in the service industry, and like you said, in the moment, I'm just going to go up to the Lakeview tap.
By the way, have you been recording this whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Just want to make sure. Okay, yeah. So you ate a raw chicken tender.
So spit it out. And so, like, I've worked in the service industry before, so I just, like, didn't want to deal with the rigmarole or anything, so I went to the kitchen window and I just put it up, and he's like, hey, how did you like it? And I was like, I didn't at all. They're totally raw. And he was like, really? And I was like, look at them.
Yeah.
And he like looked at it, and he like kind of like he didn't even know the difference, which is one thing.
Oh my
and
God.
then the bartender came over, and she's like, what's up? And I was like, the tenders were totally raw. I don't want them. And she was like, okay. And so I just walked. I was just done with the situation and went to keep mingling. Then I was like, oh yeah, you know what? My friend paid for these. I don't think he wasn't involved in me returning it or anything.
Yeah.
So I just went up to the bar. I was like, I'm gonna just let her know to take them off his tab.
Yeah.
Just in case they didn't, because clearly they're already incompetent.
Yeah.
So I was trying to just preempt their stupidity at the end of the night. So I was waiting at the bar, and I was waiting for about 5 minutes. And this is also after now that the bartender had seen that I returned chicken tenders. She was right next to me when it happened. And I'm like sitting at the bar for like 5-6 minutes with nothing. And then also now comics start coming up to me, and they're just like, we're just chatting. And I'm talking to the host of the mic. We're talking about, in the friendliest of terms, potentially producing a thing together. So we're in like happy land and like very positive. And he was like, what's going on? And I was like, I'm just letting her know to take the tenders off the tab because they were raw. And he's like, oh, cool. And he just goes to keep setting up. She comes up, and she was like, hey. And I was like, hey, I just want to take the tenders off my tab. And she was like, well, we're making you a plate. And I was like, I don't want any more of your food. Thank you. And then just reiterated, I was like, but please just make sure you take it off of my friend's tab. Walk back to the table with she runs around, and like kind of like we're now side by side, and she beats me to the table and she starts telling him, your friend just came up, barging up to the bar, yelling and screaming. We were trying to be nice, offering him like another thing of things. And I this immediately, I'm sure you've gotten this in other contexts. So for a second, I was like, these are those like little mini racism moments that make me like feel like I relate to women when they're told that, like, when they're like, like, oh, you're like raising your voice or you're being aggressive, and you're like, no, I'm not. I'm just trying to. I'm literally just trying to have a place in
like,
this
calm
world.
Down, sweetie. And
yeah. And that makes you even more mad.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what she was doing, and like making it up. And I was like, immediately, I was like, that's not at all what happened. And I raised my voice then. And she was like, well, you're raising your voice now, and all this stuff. And I knew where it was going. I knew this was coming from a place of racism. And I knew that my only response to that is violence. So I just essentially slammed my fist on a table and walked out. And by that point, like, her husband / the owner of the bar is like shouldered up in front of me. And I was like, get the fuck out of my way. I'm walking out on my own. And as I'm going out, he started pushing me. I had to restrain myself from pushing back in any way. And then I just left because I was like, hey, first of all, every single comic that was there besides me was white. So not only, like, I can tell that they not only don't have any idea what's going on, I don't trust any of those guys to even try to work this situation out constructively. And the way it was going, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get shot, like, if I do anything. Like, this is one of those, like, they've put me in a position where I'm quote unquote yelling and screaming, when also we're about to get a mic going. If I was yelling and screaming, everyone would have heard.
Yeah.
Like, I was literally, if anything, I was stern, and I was like, no, I don't want your food.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah.
So that was it. And then I just spent the rest of the night burning into my mind every single person that was there that didn't reach out after the fact to see how I was doing and what had happened. And I think it's really comical, and I hate that those like little like micro racism things exist, and that like we're always put in the spot to have to bite the bullet because the only appropriate response to that is violence,
Mm-hmm.
is if someone's being racist. But you
then-
can't just go around being violent all the time.
Yeah, and if you are violent, then you're all one of them fucking Arabs.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, just trying to start fights.
Yeah, it's, oh my God, it's so fucking mad. And yeah, so that's what happened. So I was just like, and
all
that's
over fucking chicken tenders.
all over
like,
chicken tenders that they,
God.
I guess, were insulted that I had the audacity to return.
oh my
Because
God.
I would literally, you know me, like if I raise my voice, I'm always like, oh yeah, I kind of deserve that. But like no, like it's totally fucking nuts, and it's what drives me crazy too is that it was a woman, and that it's, you know, people always think that racism is just like a male thing and that it only happens with males, and it's like you look at the pictures of like the integration in the 60s, and the people that are directly behind the black chick are all white women screaming at her with the face of the devil. And it's like, yeah, and I also am in a position where like I'm bipolar. I already don't have a great necessarily, like, I don't respond well to adverse situations. It's sort of like I act crazy when I'm put into crazy situations. It's not necessarily an excuse, but it is what's going to happen. And like, I'm tired. There's a part of me that's like, I want to lash out so bad. And on top of that, the night before, I went on a date with a chick that would not let me get in a word edgewise the entire time, when, like, it's not, I'm a fucking comic. It's not as if I'm not the one with fucking good stories. Then to top it all off, ended up stealing a quarter of my weed.
Are you serious?
Yes, and
what the fuck?
now not responding. I haven't said anything about the weed. We were supposed to actually get together the next day, and she hadn't responded. So I was like, hey, what's up? And then I realized a couple hours later that I didn't have my sativa. And my sativa was what I had out when I was smoking with her. And I was like, oh yeah, not responding to my text. My weed is missing. This all makes sense. Never dating a white chick again, ever, ever. You know, because first of all, a woman of color I'm gonna have my eye on her. So.
It's always just like, you know, I went on a date, like, from Tinder, and she thought I was weird because I wore a different sock than the other. Like, okay, like are you?
I don't think I've matched for
You're like,
over a decade.
You're like, oh fuck, that goes my set for tonight.
Every word you said of that, my heart shrank a little bit. Fucking. Oh my god. Because I recently just got back on Hinge just to complicate my life and have another reason to be angry. Like, fucking, I would have a quarter of sativa right now, or I guess an extra one, because I replaced that, obviously. I'm not going to go without.
Yeah, come on.
I parked my car on LaSalle on the side of the street that is towed between 4 and 6 for rush hour. I had to go move it. Lost my key.
Okay.
When I told the guy that works in front of the building where I was parked, I was like, hey, just if you see a tow truck or whatever, tell him what's going on. And then I was like running back and forth between the grocery store and CVS and my apartment looking for my key, tearing my place apart. That was for 2 hours. Found my car key.
Where was it?
In my apartment, in my jacket.
Of course.
Found my car key. Went to go move my car. Locked my house keys in my apartment.
Oh my god. How have you been alive this long?
Because I'm bulletproof.
Well, there it is, folks. I seriously doubt you guys made it this far, but if you did, thank you so much for listening. Why don't you go check out Tina's social media and her restaurant? It's Trashy_Tina on Instagram, and the restaurant is Kale My Name in Chicago. It's vegan. It's absolutely amazing. Mine is at Andre Rotz's Brain. You know that already. Just if you haven't, give it a like and a review on iTunes. Give it a follow on Spotify. Tell your friends, tell your loved ones, tell people you hate, because they might hate this, and then if you ruin their day, then you win. See you next week. Toodles.